Where is the local output? What output does country have? Nothing. All we do is we sell our children. I don't think he had the grip of the whole subject matter. He just thought of saying something like that without full information, and it produced enormous reverberations in Nepal and across into India. It's a tug of war. It's a tug of war. India on one side and China on the other, and Nepal is caught in between. So we need to find a solution to this problem, ongoing problem which has existed since the creation of India. Don't worry about occasional mistakes and faux pas. They call it faux pas in French. That means simple mistakes. We do make mistakes. So those mistakes are fine. Please proceed on. Don't. But if you are making so many decisions, you'll also make some mistakes. But Nepalese people will forgive all of that.
Diplomat Bhairaja Pandey, sir, welcome to the Gorkha Spirit.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here.
How do you see the Balen Shah's statement on Nepal-India border issue?
I think the Prime Minister made a slight mistake in the way he made his presentation. I don't think he had the grip of the whole subject matter. He just thought of saying something like that without full information, and it produced enormous reverberations in Nepal and across into India. And it's just a simple statement he made on the side, and that has given rise to enormous repercussions everywhere. Ripple effect has been going on until now.
So how these two countries solved this border issue actually?
No, the Prime Minister made a statement which seems to indicate that not only has India encroached on Nepal, Nepal also has encroached on Indian territory. Now that is an incorrect submission from point of view of most Nepalese. Most Nepalese believe that India has encroached on Nepalese territory, but Nepal has not encroached on Indian territory. That hasn't happened. I think there is a general agreement on that. Disputed land are only Susta and Lipu Lake area. Otherwise, the border issue is more or less resolved. What the Prime Minister was saying is that there is cross-border claim of land. People living on Nepal side claim some land in India, and people living on Indian side have land in Nepal. So that's a different issue. That's not encroachment of the border. It's not border encroachment. I think the Prime Minister confused between the two subjects, and he talked of encroachment, which is not correct, and it has given rise to various interpretations. One interpretation is that Indian scholars have interpreted as saying giving Susta back to India. They say, oh, that means you encroached on our land, that land was Susta, now you want to give it back to us, we are going to take it. So some scholars have interpreted this. S.D. Muni is one of them. And local population, I also understand, are saying this is our land and Nepalese have to get out of it. That's one unfortunate consequence of that statement.
S.D. Muni, scholar, he just praised one side Balen Shah, and in the next part he criticized not to involve third country in these two countries' border issues. So what do you think about his statement?
No, I think the Indian government has said that they would not like third party involvement in disputes, border disputes between India and Nepal. The Prime Minister said that we might want to involve Great Britain and China on this issue of border issue, and Indians have said no to that. We will resolve it amicably between the two of us. So the Prime Minister should accept the Indian proposal and say, okay, as long as we are making serious attempt to resolve it, let's do it. If not, let's go to the International Court of Justice Prime Minister could make that suggestion. But in general, India, Nepal and China are all the time disputing. The reason is if Nepal gets close to China, India gets upset. And anything that Nepal does with China is viewed with suspicion by India. Now, a new proposal that has come on in the papers now is that Nepal should sign a 50-year treaty of friendship between India, China and Nepal. There should be a treaty of friendship. And under that treaty, we should regulate the three. Right now, it's a tug of war. It's a tug of war. India on one side and China on the other. And Nepal is caught in between. So we need to find a solution to this problem, ongoing problem which has existed since the creation of India.
Up to now, India just ignored Nepalese government. But after the Balen Shah's statement in the parliament, they just replied very rapidly.
Yes.
So what's the benefit of this statement?
Some people credit Balen Shah with creating a crisis. In international sphere, it's called crisis creation. If people pay no attention to you, then you create a crisis. Then people start paying attention. Maybe he manufactured this crisis. Some people are giving him credit by saying Balen Shah manufactured the crisis. By attributing to India, saying that Nepal has occupied Indian land. At least it has opened up the debate on this issue. So now at least maybe they will not ignore. The problem was that India was ignoring Lipu Lake issue and Susta issue. Because of Balen creating this crisis out of imagination, basically an imagination in a crisis, maybe the issue is back on the table and maybe we can move towards a resolution. That would be the positive outcome of Balen Shah's statement in the parliament.
India doesn't want to talk about this border issue since long, it's around half centuries. They spent. So do you think they will talk this time about the border issue?
Well, because now the issue has come up again, and now Balen Shah is saying involvement of China and United Kingdom and all of this. So it has given a greater profile. The issue has received a greater profile. In the past, Nepal said this is ours, India said it's not yours. That's it. That was the end of the discussion. Nepal said you give it to us, India says no, it's not yours. We are not going to give it to you. The end of the discussion. That's what India was saying. Now the issue has become politicized again. And now it has come up to the discussion again. Maybe India wants to say, wait a minute, let's solve it once and for all and let's move on an economic path. Maybe Nepal and India should be pursuing joint economic path rather than fighting these small territories, one in the east and one in the west regarding its future and becoming generating animosity between two nations. I think they don't want to do that.
So, how much do you know about EPG group? Because these two nations make this group. They study the border, just all the problems. But India refused to accept that report.
Yes.
So, what will be the future of this report?
This report has been consigned to history, I think. Indians have put it in a locker and locked it. They don't like the conclusion, although it's a joint conclusion of the experts from India and Nepal.
PM Modi didn't receive that report.
Somebody has said that this report is not in favor of India. Now, 1950 treaty gives Nepal the open border. There's a Nepal-India border, people have right to travel, right to work, right to earn money and all of this so far. But if this EPG report came out, that would change. It would change the 1950 treaty and India for the time has decided that it's better off with the 1950 treaty than with the EPG report. So they have suppressed the report for now.
So, what is 1950 treaties?
The 1950 treaty gives open border. People can come and work from both sides. They can earn money and transfer money. And then also that security. There is a link security. If Nepal needs to import arms, it must be imported through India. Through India, not from India, but through India. So India...
They just give the permission.
Yes. So it has to go. So it is there. But we have violated that treaty. We have imported arms from countries without informing India. We have done that already. So in practice, the treaty has been violated already. But we'll see what happens now. That now, with the new government, we may decide on a different framework. It's actually very flexible how Nepal wants to deal with India. And I think we need to sit down and agree on new terms of reference vis-a-vis both countries.
So, the Rajya Sabha chairman, Ravi Lammichhane, is in the visit to India.
Yeah.
So, he gets lots of respect there
Yes.
than the previous leaders.
Yes.
So, what does it mean?
I think India is trying to find a person with whom they can work. For last 20, 30 years, there has been no interlocutor for India in Nepal. Every year we were changing prime ministers. Every year new government, and so on and so forth. So India had no one to deal with. Now we have a government near 2/3 majority. India must be happy. India is saying, at least, okay, we've got someone we can deal with, and we want to make him happy. India has a lot of expectations from Nepal, because India has close relationship with China. India also has good relationship with the United States, and they want to maintain it. And then we have border. We have border with India and with China. And we are in the middle. So Nepal is in a very strategic location. So I think India wants to do business with us. And the economic plan that Ravi Lammichhane has presented in a newspaper article is a brilliant one. He has talked about how Nepal can economically benefit, or Nepal-India can mutually benefit from economic cooperation. And I think that's going to work out very well.
So, our location, we situated between two giant economically successful countries, but our finance minister said, if we don't take loan, then we will be stopped.
Yes.
The nation will be stopped. So, why we are so poor?
First of all, our economy is very weak. We have no production. This country is surviving on remittances. And where is the local output? What output does country have? Nothing. All we do is we sell our children. This country has learned to survive by selling its children, not by producing goods. Not like China. China is hub of production. It produces everything. It produces janai, Nepali janai, Ganesh, Murti. All this is produced in China now. So it's a production of the world. So it sells, and China does well. What do we produce? We don't produce enough food to eat. Hydropower, we have so many rivers flowing. Hydropower is still insufficient. We still buy hydropower. We should be exporting hydropower to India and to Europe. We are not doing that yet. So we are poor because we have done nothing for the country as people. We have done nothing to make this country grow. I think this government is trying to say, we will take loan, we'll start factories, we'll do hydropower, we'll do AI, we'll do agriculture, we will build infrastructure, and all of that, and this country will become functional, produce its own money and resources, and become rich. So that's the target.
So, have you seen that this fiscal year's budget?
Yes.
So, what's your opinion about this?
I think the budget has priorities on economic development. It will take money. It will raise money, and it will spend money on priority projects. like AI and hydropower and tourism and all of that. And what it will do is it will make sure that the capital expenditure, which is about 3-4% of the budget, that budget is spent well. Nepal has not been able to spend that money. There are very, you can take an example of having, let's say, 16-17 rupees. Out of that, 8-9 rupees is for running day-to-day cost, right? Then 2-3 rupees is to pay the loan and the rest, interest on the loan, right? We are left with 3-4 rupees. That money we are never able to spend. So this government that is the capital expenditure, and this government is saying we are going to spend that, and in a responsible manner, and you will be accountable for it, and we will monitor it, and we will answer to the people. So that is the big change. There is commitment from the government to do capital expenditure in a responsible manner and to report to the nation.
So around 20% budget is sufficient for developing or
That's
making
all we have. That's all we have. The rest is all running cost of the government. So unless they bring down the running cost, then we may have more money to spend. But otherwise, they don't have money left.
So we are at the end. So what's your suggestions to the government and the Nepalese youth?
To Nepalese youth, I'm delighted that you have got so much of optimism right now. You are following the government actions very closely. You brought about this revolution. You made this nation proud, and for the first time, elderly person like me is holding his head high because of your sacrifices and your commitment. And to the government, say you are on a path of development. Please continue this path, the commitment. Don't worry about occasional mistakes, and faux pas. They call it faux pas in French. That means simple mistakes. We do make mistakes. So those mistakes are fine. Please proceed on. Don't. But if you are making so many decisions, you'll also make some mistakes. But Nepalese people will forgive all of that.
Thank you, sir, for joining with us.
Thank you very much.